Well, welcome to Thursday's hymn. This is and has been regarded as one of the best hymns that has ever been written. And it's a repeat of an author, I'm afraid. It's Charles Wesley again. This is Jesus, Lover of My Soul. You might know it to this tune. But if you do, then you're probably a Methodist, because that was what it was set to in the 1933 Methodist hymn book. I think virtually every other hymn book has it set to this. And so on, which is Aberystwyth. If you have not watched The Crown on the television, which is a series about Queen Elizabeth II, then you ought to watch episode 3 of series 3. It is about the Aberfan disaster, which happened in 1966. 116 primary school children were overcome by the sliding slag from hill number 7 at that pit. And at the funeral of all 116 children, can you imagine it? Standing around a grave that was so long, they sang "Jesu, Lover of My Soul." Welsh parent voices singing this song. And there is a video of it on YouTube if you want to find it, which is there by virtue of the Daily Mail that took a film at the time. It's an odd hymn. Certainly Charles Wesley might, and I don't think he did really, but he might have had his tongue in cheek when he starts a hymn with the word lover and bosom in the first 2 lines. Indeed, in a lot of hymn books, the word lover has been removed and replaced with the word refuge. Jesu, refuge of my soul. Even though in the Apocrypha, in the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, verse 26, it describes God as the lover of souls. Indeed, Charles Wesley took much of the hymn from individual verses in the Bible. I'm not going to be able to do anything like a really good description of this hymn, because when you look at the poetry, it contains so many different mechanisms in it to make it work. And people have sung this over the years and years and years, and it has meant so much to them. Having said that Charles Wesley put those 2 words in at the beginning, Bishop Wordsworth, about whom I know absolutely nothing, described this hymn as inexpressibly shocking because it had got those words in and because it was so common. Well, he can he can go somewhere else, really. I think it's a great hymn. Of course, the tune is Aberystwyth, the tune in the minor that I played. And saying that it is in the minor, it was composed by Joseph Parry, who in 1879. And when he was 9 years old, living in Merthyr Tydfil, he was sent down the mine to work there. You would think it unlikely, therefore, given that he was the son of a miner and he was a miner himself by the time he was 9, that he was ever going to be able to be a musician. Indeed, when he got to 17, he could still not read a note of music. But he learnt music. He actually emigrated to the United States and eventually became an organist and choir master in New York. And then he came back again, having been offered professor of music at the University of Aberystwyth. And that was where he wrote this tune. I think that's a lovely story that goes on about this, and those words are crackingly good. There's a verse that is missed out, which for a small fee I'm prepared to tell you what it is. This verse is usually omitted, and you can understand why, really, because it doesn't flow so well. Wilt thou not regard my call? Wilt thou not accept my prayer? Lo, I sink, I faint, I fall. Lo, on thee I cast my care. Reach me out thy gracious hand, while I of thy strength receive. Hoping against hope I stand, dying, and behold, I live. It's that classic contradiction, or whatever it's called, dying, and behold, I live, that runs with the end of that. But this is the words. Jesus, lover of my soul, let me to thy bosom fly. While the nearer waters roll, while the tempest still is high, hide me. O my Saviour, hide, till the storm of life is past, safe into the haven guide. O receive my soul at last. It immediately is a picture of the whole of the Christian life and the troubles and turmoil and chaos that finishes up with a peace beyond human understanding, till the storm of life is past, safe into the haven guide. You have this picture of this boat that is sloshing about in the tempest and the nearest waters and everything, which ultimately is somewhere where the soul is received in peace. And then the second verse, other refuge, again this picture of the boat, have I none, hang my helpless soul on thee. He's very clever in taking the last 2 lines of the previous verse and relating them to the first 2 lines of the next verse every single time. Leave me not alone, still support and comfort me. All my trust on thee is stayed, all my help from thee I bring. Cover my defenceless head with the shadow of thy wing. Thou, O Christ, art all I want, more than all in thee I find. Raise the fallen, cheer the faint, heal the sick, and lead the blind. Just and holy is thy name. I am all unrighteousness, false and full of sin I am. Thou art full of truth and grace. And then the last verse, the plenteous grace, which is taken on from the previous verse. With thee is found grace to cover all my sin. Let the healing streams abound, make and keep me pure within. Thou, the life of fountain art, freely let me taste of thee. Spring thou up, this is the fountain he's talking about, within my heart. Rise to all eternity. Fantastic hymn. And here it is.